you got, and oftentimes that becomes even better than what all the fancy tools allows for you. And that's how Trauma does it. Lloyd did learn also within the traditional settings of filmmaking, and he decided he didn't want to do it that way. So this is incredibly valuable. One, he's an incredible human, but he's an incredible filmmaker, and we get to sit here for an hour and hear from him all about how he makes movies and hopefully how all of you will make movies. So thanks for being here, and please welcome Lloyd Kaufman. From the Film Office, Ryan Parker from the Mississippi Film Society, and Courtney and Emmy from University Press,
and Matthew,
yes, that's right, from the editor of the book.
Well, Jackson, Mississippi, thank you so much. Really, you made us sad, old, miserable man. Very happy. And we have Kabuki Ma'am, the mate of Sergeant Kabuki Ma'am. Very hot, very sexy. What do you have to say about film entertainment?
Kabuki Bando.
Anybody translate Japanese here? Yeah, I studied at Yale University. It means Lloyd Kaufman is the finest director she knows. Unbelievable. Thank you, Kabuki Ma'am, and thank you, everybody. There's a Q&A after this, and of course, there was Trauma merchandise. Maybe it's probably not here. And also, Nina Perez. What's your last name? Perez, I got it right. I came close. Anyway, Nina should get the most important Trauma award, and the incompetent people at Trauma did not give me the award for you. But stay tuned, there will be awards. But unfortunately, Nina, who deserves it, is not getting it. Much less worthy people will be getting the amazing Trauma diploma. I'm sorry. Anyway, thank you, everybody, and if you want to continue to be bored, we've got a master class coming up right after this brief movie that got mutilated by your film industry. Thank you, Nina, everybody.
Founded by Yale classmates Lloyd Kaufman and Michael Hers in 1974, legendary Trauma Entertainment still holds its reign as the independent studio. Trauma is arguably the oldest independent studio in America and the only independent studio with brand name appeal. Trauma also owns a library of nearly 1,000 titles consisting of movies, TV shows, shorts, and internet content. Along with its founders Lloyd Kaufman and Michael Hers, Trauma is responsible for the world's most visionary independent film. Trauma is also known for the world's most beloved and unique cinema icon, the Toxic Avenger. Toxie, his friends and fans call him, is Trauma's answer to Mickey Mouse and his legions of fans across the world. Toxie is starred in 4 feature-length films, a Saturday morning cartoon show, and Toyline. Now even Hollywood is getting into the action by producing a mega-budget remake of the Toxic Avenger to be made by Legendary Pictures, the company behind such movies as Pacific Rim and The Hangover. But wait, there's more. Toxie was also made into an award-winning Broadway musical with music by Bon Jovi's David Bryan. For over a year, Toxie's stage show ran on both Broadway and its equivalent across the pond, London's West End. And speaking of remakes, Charles Kaufman's Mother's Day was remade into a big-budget movie starring Rebecca De Mornay and Jamie King. Thanks to having built a loyal and rabid fan base for the last 45 years, Trauma's DVDs have become major cult favorites. Trauma movies are not only in very select movie theaters on DVD and Blu-ray, now you can stream Trauma movies on Amazon, iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, and their very own streaming service, Trauma Now. Trauma fans can also shop at the studio store at www.trauma.com, where they can purchase DVDs, CDs, posters, t-shirts, and other collectible merchandise, such as comic books and Lloyd Kaufman's best-selling books and DVD box set. In addition to Trauma's signature evergreen films like Poltergeist, Night of the Chicken Dead, Sergeant Kabuki Van, NYPD, Cannibal the Musical, Romeo and Juliet, Class of Newcomb High, and of course, The Toxic Avenger. Trauma Entertainment offers a vast array of films for all ages, from children to senior citizens. Trauma even has a wide collection of Hollywood classics, digitally remastered for a whole generation to enjoy through its Road Group collection. The visionary artistry of Troma has influenced many high-profile mainstream Hollywood directors over the years, including Peter Jackson, Sam Raimi, Quentin Tarantino, Trey Parker, James Gunn, and Eli Roth. Films from the Troma library have also helped launch the careers of superstars like Vincent D'Onofrio, Marissa Tomei, Kevin Costner, Samuel L. Jackson, Carmen Electra, Trey Parker, and Jenna Fisher. Troma has been recognized all over the world with awards and retrospectives such as Cinématique France, Japan's Tokyo Film Festival, the Venice Film Festival, and the American Film Institute. President of Troma Entertainment, Lloyd Kaufman, has even been elected chairman of the Independent Film and Television Alliance for 4 years, paving the way for independent filmmakers to have equal footing with the major studio conglomerate. Troma has also helped to nourish and preserve the spirit of independent art through events like the Troma Dance Film Festival. For years, Troma Dance was held at Park City, Utah, in the same place at the same time as the Sundance Film Festival.
I love Troma Dance.
There's no entry fee to submit your film to Troma Dance, no admission to the event, it's totally free. And Troma also reaches out to the young filmmaking population worldwide with Lloyd Kaufman's acclaimed Make Your Own Damn Movie Master Classes. These master classes impart wisdom, hope, and inspiration to the next generation of young independent filmmakers all over the world. So join the Troma team as it explodes in the future. The risk-taking pioneering studio with brand name appeal, Troma Entertainment.
I think the lesson here is you just have to keep going, and eventually, after 30 years, your movie might become profitable, and after 52 years, get 30 people in the theater. Who needs short films? Anyway, anybody have any questions? Because we got a couple more clips coming up, but anyone have any questions about Troma? This is sort of what you've seen as kind of the happy part. You can imagine the miserable part. My next film is all about it too. Yes, sir.
Was there a point early on in Troma's development, was there a point where you and your collaborators realized you would need to make certain sacrifices to be able to lock in and do what you wanted to do?
Yeah, good, very good question. Yes, Shakespeare said it all, to thine own self be true, and it makes life a lot simpler. If you're not a crook in the movie business, everybody is a crook except for Troma. I don't believe there's anybody who's honest, other than your film commission and people like that. It's a miserable business. And it's an oligopoly that it gets worse and worse. So, if you have talent, you will succeed. You just have to keep going. James Gunn just kept writing scripts until he finally got one that set in the mouth of the fish. Eli Roth said, actually we have a clip with him. He's done Hostel and Cabin Fever, he's a big shot. He started with us. You'll hear from him. I think the main thing is you have to decide you want the red carpet and all that, which is probably very nice, or do you want to have a certain amount of freedom and absolutely no recognition other than the Mississippi Film Office. I'm telling you the truth. As Godel says, 24 frames a second. So, any other question before we go on to, I believe we're going to take a look at how Troma does the casting. I've written 7 books about filmmaking too, so make your own damn movie is one of them, and then there's direct your own damn movie, and then there's produce your own damn movie and sell your own damn movie, and Nina and I will soon be collaborating for the Mississippi University Press on Make Your Own Damn Film Commission. Hey, announced here. Being in the film business, like everybody else, I've it before, you know what. So I guess any other quick question? Anybody? We can look at kind of what we do with the casting, unless you've got something you wish to ask. 8. Yes, way in the back.
I'm gonna play casting.
What's that?
I'm gonna play the casting clip for you.
You say you're playing with yourself? No, not here. This is the Capri Theater, Ryan. The Manhole Club is back down in, all right, we're playing it. We're gonna play something there.
Well, Trauma takes a long time to cast its movies. We usually start by having an open call. We post notices at acting school, old age homes, anywhere where we can find people who are pretty desperate. Anywhere where we find people who are interested in acting and where we can find character actors. Now, the way we start auditioning is we have an open call.
Rachel Robbins. Hi, Carla Pavansky.
Barry Briscoe. Dennis Berger.
Elise Latourell.
Sean Pierce.
Hi, my name is Martha.
Mario Diaz.
My name is Crystal McLeod.
Greg Siebel. 388-995.
243-3514.
We give everybody, I think, 1 or 2 minutes to do anything they want.
I'll shave my ass, walk backwards, and talk out of my anus!
And then we tape it, we videotape this stuff, and I take it home and I look at it. And the people who have the most energy, doesn't matter what they're doing. They can recite something, they can do an improv, they can do something from their acting class, they can talk about themselves. And as soon as we see a little energy, then we call those people back. Usually has 7, 8, 12 callbacks, and we are very, very careful in the audition process to make it very difficult so that the actors who are prima donnas or who are lazy or who just don't really want to be sweating for art are eliminated.
Ready for Jay? Try taking. So that's it. The final work of Larry Benjamin. He's gone now.
I am Trent, I'm reading for Jay. He's gone now. The artist who never compromised, who understood what it means to push buttons and never back away, no matter how many...
The artist who never compromised understood what it means to push buttons and never back away.
Reading for the role of Jerry. I'll take the Larry Cohens, John Stales, and these fucked up trauma guys any day.
I can only hope that one day I'll make enough money writing and directing to really take care of my mom. I hope one day I'll make enough money writing and directing to really take care of her. I wish one day I'd make enough money directing and writing to really take care of my mom.
Thank the Lord. I couldn't see that thing. Oh, man. Thank the Lord. I can't see in that thing. I couldn't breathe. I can't speak. There's a wire sticking in my eye. I can't see in that thing. I couldn't breathe. I thought I was going to pass out. And there's a wire in my eye.
The other element that we've got to deal with in auditions is the nudity element. So we have the auditions at some point, once we've narrowed down the actors who we think might be appropriate for these parts that take nudity, we will have the actors audition naked to try to create the scenes that are written in the script. And if they do that, then we'll bring them back and put them in the finals. We also have the finalists for each part act with each other so that we can get a sense of the chemistry between, say, Toxie and Sarah. So we might have a day where we have 4 Toxies and 4 Sarahs both come to the audition at the same time and rehearse.
Let's get to the next scene, all right?
Anymore. It's been a long day, and the goddamn belly won't work. It's like it's off the track, and the fucking wheel won't work. It's like, everywhere, you know? I just need a break. I really just need a break. Can we shut the pussy up so we can get on with this day already?
We're going to take a 5-minute break, and we'll reshoot, okay?
Actually, the auditioning doesn't necessarily end when we've selected the actors for the parts. We might keep 2 or 3 in the running and bring them to the locations and start rehearsing with 2. I think with Terra Firma we were rehearsing with, I think we ended up rehearsing on set with more than 1 actor or actress. And then we whittled it down actually in the process of rehearsing. So we keep rehearsing and we keep auditioning and we keep casting right through pretty much through the end of principal photography. So there's many different permutations of the audition process. It takes quite a long time, and even then, we still have screw-ups, we still have misunderstandings, we still have problems with nudity. So that anyone who's going to get involved has to really dedicate 2 or 3 months of their life to that project. You want to try to get rid of the dead weight, the mediocres, the slothful ones, the actors who may be talented but perhaps are a little bit too much of a prima donna to take on a lead in a drama movie. You need to create a nucleus of people who are not frightened off by hard work, by sleeping on the floor, eating cheese sandwiches 3 times a day, and learning how to defecate in a paper bag, because it's all about art. They must be available 100% of the time. It's about making the movie, and that's what's important. I know they're doing their best, but that's not good enough in Tromaville. Doing your best, you have to be better than
From the loins of that have come quite a number of successful actors and directors also. The best directors, in my opinion, come from the world of actors. You don't want to eat with the actors, but other than that's from the producers by Mel Brooks. You ever see an actor eat? One of the great old-time lines. Anybody have anything they wish to say or state? If anybody here wants to audition, we have a green screen. You can shoot something, and we're always shooting. We're doing something in LA right now, and there's another movie going on. Not here, unfortunately. They wouldn't let us in. Yes.
You said a magic word, and that was improv. During your auditions, do you have like a go-to scene you want actors to improvise, or?
Yes, sorry, I'm improvising now. That was an improv. Yes, and, by the way, anybody know what that is? Yes, and? That's improv. I just learned that, I had no idea. Yeah, it's very important to improvise, especially new, young talent at which we're very good at discovering. That's what you want. That's what acting has a lot to do with. The written word is great, and the director can be decent, but the actors really, it's not so easy either, as I'm sure you know. Do you have improv here, improv groups?
We do have some improv here.
Where is the improv here? Where would you go for improvisation here other than Film Commission? Ward Emling, by the way, just did King Lear. Anybody see King Lear? Ward Emling, former head of this whole, and friends with the mayor in case you need some, little something under the table or whatever. The new mayor, the incoming mayor. They all went to Millsap, that's where the billionaire class resides. At any rate, where is this improvisation here in Jackson?
Well, I've talked multiple places, but there's also a group called the Royal Y'all, and they'll go and perform.
What's it called?
The Royal Y'all.
The Royal
Y'all.
Y'all.
That's
No, whatever. I'm Jewish, can't speak. At any rate, any other questions? Because now we're going to go and hear Eli Roth is going to say something. But anybody have a question about acting? There's all sorts of social, if you're interested. Trauma has social, I have social, and we answer our own. Yes, sir?
Is there anything in particular that you look for in an actor? Like, I know you mentioned in the video high energy, but are there other things that when you see it, and you're like, oh, this person's got it?
Is there something that we see that says genius? Yes, but there's a lot more when you're making a low-budget movie. You don't want a prima donna, somebody's a pain in the ass. We had to fire the Toxic Avenger on the Toxic Avenger Part 2 and the Last Temptation of Toxic, and we hired the stand-in right on location because the guy he didn't get it. He wanted us to carry his suitcases. Everybody's equal, and we don't even use the word extras unless it's a newspaper. We call them actor. Everybody's an actor person, no matter what. They have to sleep on the floor, you know, like the crew does, like a production assistant. Everybody's because the people like Eli Roth were doing just that, and James Gunn too. So let's hear from Eli Roth. What do you say, Ryan?
You got it.
Thank you, everybody.
Do it. If you have that idea in your head, and it's that idea that won't let you sleep at night, that every time you close your eyes, you literally have insomnia because there's a voice poking you going, do it, you should be shooting shit, go for it. Make your film, but make it great. If you're gonna do it, shoot like every day is the last day of your life, like your fucking life depends on it, that everything you're doing, you try to make it great. Say, let's put as much as we can into the story, into the acting, into production design. Let's just fucking go for it and make something great and put something awesome out there. Even if it's a really sick, fucked up, violent horror movie, do it and make it great.
A very nice guy too. Cabin Fever, Hostel. He's got he's now organizing, I think, a peer-to-peer studio to make horror films. Keep an eye, I guess. He's breaking out. Rodriguez too. Robert Rodriguez has his own thing. A number of these people are trying to do their own thing. Not too bad. It could be worse. Could be wearing a suit out in California, driving a big car, and not owning your home or your car, and worrying about where your next job is. A lot of dead bodies out there. But the town will out, so you should take heart from that. You know, enough of it. I've seen enough of that, so you know, stay with it. That's the main thing. Any questions about Eli Roth?
Hey.
Yes.
No, good. Is that Carrie?
Oh,
go ahead.
sorry. Yes. Yes, young man with a beard. What?
What did Eli do with Truma?
Well, he acted and he also worked on the team. He's in Terra Firma and he's in, I think, another one too. I was supposed to be in his movie Cabin Fever, but I had already committed to a movie in Texas that was trying to be David Lynch, so I went for that. And that movie was unwatchable. That's my big Eli Roth chance. What are you gonna do? But I told the guy, and I told the David Lynch guy, I committed to it, so I had to do it. At any rate,
hey Lloyd, I have a question. We've seen the changes in production. It's easier now to make something than it was, 50 years ago, technologically speaking. I wonder if you could talk about the changes. You just talked about Eli Roth's kind of peer-to-peer platform. Can you talk about the changes that you've seen in getting your film out to a public? Any kind of comments you have about that or advice for aspiring filmmakers in that regard?
Be ahead of the curve. Troma's here because we're early adapters. We had young idiots working with us. I mean, young, brilliant puppies who run out into traffic and get run over by trucks. They kept us going with the ideas about new technology. Otherwise, porn really are the real pioneers, pornoneers. But we got into video cassette very early. We got into DVD before they even had the machines in people's homes. That's how stupid we were, but it worked out. We had 2 years without too much trouble. And then the streaming we started 15 years ago. Troma Now is very good. It's free the first month, and you can keep signing up if you use different emails. But most of us who are on Troma Now, most of the filmmakers, we're happy if people watch our movies. That's what art is all about. We want people to see and hear and listen and, fuck to it, whatever. It's why we're here. And the money is good if you can make it. Nothing wrong with James Gunn, who just directed Superman. Nothing wrong with the Toxic Avenger reimagining, $50 million on something that we could have done for 300,000. But it's got all these big stars, got major blah blah blah, and it's very good. They did a great job. They had a lot of guts. Peter Dinklage plays Toxie, which is pretty gutsy. Yes.
Congrats on the cameo in the new Superman, but
You saw me in the new Superman? Oh, yeah. It's unbelievable. I played Crypto probably.
I just realized that you're gonna have a sequel to Poltergeist.
Yes, a reimagining of Poultry. Thank you for knowing about Poltergeist Night of the Chicken Dead. It's an anti-fast food movie, and semi-musical. But it's being reimagined by Mercedes the Muse, who's made a couple of movies for us. She's very good, doesn't take notes for the most part, and it's from the hen's point of view. It's the Henpire Strikes Back, Poltergeist part 2. But it's going to be very different from the original, obviously. Yes.
Also, if you get a chance to go back and look at your first film, The Girl Who Returned.
The man has mentioned another unwatchable movie called The Girl Who Returned, which the Trauma team very cleverly cut off the ending and then put it up on screen. So if you're going to watch it, you don't even get the ending. There's also other embarrassing stuff that I like to take off, but I don't know how to remove it. But what are you going to do? Michael Hers, my partner of 52 years, he is an excellent movie director. He's seen every movie. He knows everything about everything, but he doesn't want to direct. He gave that up shortly after Toxic Avenger, really. And but I wouldn't be sitting here. I'd be in a friggin' limousine if he was still directing. I wouldn't be wasting my time with you people. I'd be out there. George Clooney doing movies that should have been made 50 years ago. Brave themes like Don't Smoke. Yeah, that was a good one. What a bunch of horrible. At any rate, who has another question? Yes.
Does Michael hate being in front of the camera?
Michael Hers, very private person. Yes, he does not like to step outside the warm and loving bubble of the Traumavillian population. We used to have a big fat guy that was our action hero named Joe Fleischaker, who's in many of our movies. He's dead, died of obesity. But he I used to use him to talk as Michael Hers when we had TV people and journalists and people for a long time. They assumed that Joe was Michael, and Michael actually liked it. I thought he would be upset by that, but Michael's a very attractive person. Goes to the gym, eats well, good guy. But he wanted Joe Fleischer to not just replace him in the interviews, but to replace him in the office. He'd like to get out. It's been a good. Michael's the real boss. He's keep us going, and more than that, very creative. It's very seldom, but whenever he does, his advice is always correct. Alrighty, well, locations are very important to us because the location it definitely could save some money, which is why you want to shoot here in Mississippi. But also it becomes a character. Poltergeist Night of the Chicken Dead, the fast food place it's a character. You can't help it. In Rocky, imagine Rocky without those locations. We did that. Trauma produced all those non-union scab locations. You imagine Rocky without the locations? The Philadelphia museum steps and the pet shop and all the good stuff. The Trauma team did that because the budget was so low. The producers couldn't afford to really use proper technicians in Philadelphia, so we did it. Same crew that did Cry Uncle for John G. Avildsen, same director, John G. Avildsen, sort of my mentor, and shot a lot on believed in the real locations. I think that's very important. Actually, here's, in order to get a location, you have to work very often with the film office, and you have to do it in advance. You can't be smoking pot like our production manager was on Terra Firma, and then at the last minute go to New York City Police Department and ask for a permit to film in Times Square, crossroads of the world, except for, of course, right here in Johnson. Fremont Street here, that's the real crossroads. But Times Square, the production manager gave a permit from the, submitted a permit, said man walks across the street in Times Square. So, okay, no problem. The problem was the man was supposed to be totally naked and went across Times Square, height of lunch hour. And he did not tell the police. He was lazy. He should have done it 6 weeks. We had 3 months of production. It was part of, I believe, worse. So we ended up getting one take. You can see here, this was covered as, by the way, if you go to Troma now and you're interested in movie making, the documentaries about the making of our movies, like the Poultry Guys movie, Poultry in Motion, Truth is Stranger Than Chicken. That you'll learn more from our documentaries. They're 90 minutes and they tell the 100% truth about how difficult it is to make a Troma movie. But anyway, here's a piece of how not to get location permits. Nina, this is for you. Oh, Nina's taking a little nap here.
Hey, tell me about the scene with your big team today.
Well, I'm going to be in a head cast and in my boxer shorts. There's an emergency on set, and I get up and I run naked. Hey man, we're going to get to see Yaniv's rocket. Yeah, baby.
This is based on truth. The guy's getting his head cast. That's why he has that stuff on him, so he cannot see or hear, or he's kind of a nightmare for the poor guy. But this came out of an actual event in pre-production.
What can you tell me about Baron All?
Very liberating, but it ain't over yet. I got to run through 42nd Street now. Times Square, baby.
The whole world will be familiar with the geography of your gonads, my friend.
Yeah.
We're filming in the street tomorrow.
Yeah, it's like Times Square.
Yeah, the guy's gonna run through Times Square with no clothes on.
Can you tell you're feeling today?
Nervous as hell, y'all. Nervous as hell. It's alright though. It's gonna be a good scene.
Well, it should be a wide shot of this Times Square, and it should be empty, and your knees butt should come into frame. He wants into that pose. Go ahead. No, stop! God damn it! Here, just do what I do. Watch.
Very tight here.
Very quiet, very quickly. Hey, here we go, folks. Ready. And Brendan, set. And action on rehearsal. He stopped on his own in the middle of the shot.
Talk to them, right? Just leave it alone. The guy doesn't know what to do with it. Gee, I'm gonna leave the guy. He's never gonna leave. Just let the guy alone. Get him out of the fucking picture.
Someone else will give him some pose for him to look. You don't see the front of him, we just see his ass.
Did you know that guy wasn't an extra?
No, I didn't see him. Out of nowhere, I just bang.
Oh man.
It's fucked up.
I'm ready to shoot. Roll camera! Bang! Action!
They're gonna have to wrap it up for today. They're not gonna let them shoot anymore here, and that's about it.
When again they called action, and I just ran. I did my thing, tried to go as crazy as possible. I hit the pole, then I zigzagged. And I was running this way. I was looking into someone to bang into, but I couldn't. And when it was over, the whole people applauded at me. It felt great. It's awesome.
Bye bye, big booty fish. Thanks for the memories.
And the lesson is, we only got one take, but at least it kind of worked out. There should have been more coverage. I don't mean on his very small penis. I meant different shots. So pre-production is very important. The most important thing that I could bestow upon you after 52 years of trauma is the 3 rules of trauma production. First being, don't take drugs, Yale University. Second, it will cause you to be senile prematurely. Second is, most important is actually safety to humans. I've been doing this over 60 years. We've never had a serious injury. There's no reason for it. People on these big sets get killed quite frequently. Horses too, which is very sad. But it's unnecessary. The other rule that's important is to, if you shoot on location especially, take care of people's property. Safety of somebody's home. When I was on Saturday Night Fever, one of the union guys put a cigarette out on the wall of these people's home. And I had practically filleted every member of that family to get this stupid house for very little money. And on the first day of filming this idiot, and I chastised the guy, and then I'm the one who got yelled at because they were the union. You know, can't yell at them. In those days, the unions were closed shops. You had to have a parent to be in the union, or an uncle, or something like that. Now they're more open. I think they actually have one or two women, maybe a black person, maybe. I know the Directors Guild, which I had to leave, they haven't gone up very much in terms of the DEI part. But anyway, so those are the third rule of production is make a good movie. And we plaster these rules up everywhere to try to brainwash the young people into wearing rubber-soled shoes and not running on set and look on. You're beat once if you're going forward, twice if you're backing up, all sorts of stuff. Keep an eye on the toilet paper and all that kind of. You have to have enough porta potties too, by the way. We had we filmed Trauma's War in an army base that's a nature preserve kind of thing, and we had only one porta potty. And the crew never said anything. They just would go out in the woods and go to the bathroom. Well, a big battle scene took place in those very woods. So, big problem. You have to think of everything. At any rate, maybe a little time for questions. Anyone still here? Yeah, yes.
With the branding, how intentional was the branding? Because you've got the icons with Trome and even like the us versus them with independent filmmaker versus the schmucks in Hollywood. How intentional was that, or did it just happen on its own?
How intentional was the branding? You mean of the people who work for us, like cows? You mean like that kind of branding? No, we don't do that. That would be terrible. Plus, they don't even deserve to be branded. Put out there. One in the Kentucky Derby, fall down and die. How many horses die in the Kentucky Derby? Isn't it great? There's so many jobs. Horses love it, don't they? They love it to die at the Kentucky Derby. What a way to go. Right? It's probably a good way. How many horses die during the year from horse racing? And the doggies too, you can adopt a senile dog from the greyhound racing. It was a good question. I forgot what it was, but it was very inspiring. The main thing is safety, really. It's very dangerous, even low-budget movie making. And the good news is you don't really need money anymore. That's the good news. The technology has created a way to make movies for virtually nothing. And you've got things like where you can beg in public and get from your guilt your families and few friends into putting up a few bucks to make a first movie, and you can do what we do. Try to sell your own art, or you use it as a calling card, and eventually maybe you make another movie and quit your day job because you got so many movies you're selling, and then suddenly you get discovered by Hollywood. It's so glory. It's unbelievable. Happens to everybody. Yes, in the back.
When you're dealing with like a super low budget and you want to like create something that's kind of out there and crazy, when you're conceptualizing the idea, are you thinking about it from the basis of what you have to work with and then building your idea off that, or are you just thinking without any bounds and then seeking what you have available to make what you just thought of?
Well, it's a very good question. Gentleman has asked, do we conceptualize ahead of time kind of what we're doing? Is it a theme that we're interested in? I think usually there's a theme, something going on in the world that, Toxic Avenger was obviously environmental, but other things, fast food, etc. And Class of Newcomb High, we had a nuclear power plant. We built it within a quarter of a mile of New York City that was built with bad cement, and it was a perfect trauma movie. It would blow up. They stopped it finally, but they stopped building the thing. But all our movies tend to start in some kind of contemporary theme. Romeo and Juliet was sort of about the fact that my generation has smothered the next generation's its coolness and its fake liberalism, and plundering the national treasury and faking all the open-mindedness and electing 79 years of people grabbing your money. It's a fact. We're paying for it now, but it didn't just start. It's been my whole lifetime. So your question, I think the key is if you, again, I've tended to be on my own, not on my own, but create our own little Tromaville and do what we believe in and tell the truth as much as we can. I don't like to tell the truth about whether or not I got any talent. That's a truth I don't care to deal with. Like Terra Firma, the whole Terra Firma movie is all about it. Like me. Maybe has talent, maybe doesn't. But, sorry, maybe they have talent, maybe they don't. But they believe in what they're doing, and you know, that's it. Shark by Samuel Fuller versus Jaws by Spielberg. Yes.
If you find a location you're really interested in, what kind of that first step
Well, you go find a location and it's a public place. I think Film Commission probably. You want to go to the, if it's public, I think you have to go to the mayor, the office, Film Commission. If it's not published, then you talk to the people that own the place. And if they're in New York or Los Angeles, they're going to try to squeeze as much money out of you. But here, movies probably get some very good locations. Like the Capri Theater, very generous. Yes. Oh, we may have to stop this. How long? I don't want to overstay. It's up to you.
About 10 more minutes, if that's okay.
It's whatever you guys want. Narcissist. What I do. Yes.
If I wanted to emulate your business strategy, start my own business film company, would you say, because there's no excuse, right? There's no excuse to not make a movie. It's free, and if anything, all the options we have now can kind of be a crutch. So would you say, for example, go all in on a YouTube channel and put out our films that way, or do you still need to be in the film festival circuit to find a distributor? Do you have any feedback on how to create something ahead of the curve?
I don't think you can really plan for any of that. The key is if you make your own damn movie, read my books. They're pretty good and they're very entertaining and they're rather amusing. But it depends what you want. If you want to, make movies that nobody talks about, use my business plan. It's not mine. It's Truman's. But it's art and business together, and you have to recognize that. I'm here joking, but we have to make a payroll. We have to make movies. Even movies that cost nothing, which we still have to pay something. We still have a certain production value and decent script, and you got to pay people to know how to stay in focus. It's not that easy, but I think you have to decide what you want. If you want the red carpet, you've got to probably go wherever the gatekeepers are, and I don't know where they are now. Or you make your own damn movies. It's not a bad way to go. Especially here, you've got opportunity here. People are leaving New York and LA. They're coming to other states here. We even made a movie in Tennessee. Great place to make a movie. They got I don't even know I don't think they have an incentive. Well, they may have, I don't know what they have, but we didn't use it, whatever it is. What is my favorite part of making my own damn movie? I think the team, it's a team effort. It's very satisfying, and to try to, keep control over what you started off with. People who are, young and inexperienced, but extremely excited about what we're working on, and listening to people, young people, give me ideas, and then I, of course, take credit for those good ideas. Like everybody in the film industry. I think the whole thing, actually, the worst part is the actual production, because it's scary as hell. You know, somebody could die, things go wrong. We had a horrible time in the film I just shot, loosely inspired by Crime and Punishment, which none of the 80 people working on the movie set had read, which didn't have magazines. I read it, but that's about it. But I think the idea is after you get the movie shot, you sort of know you're going to have something. Then kind of like golden time in a way. You know, a lot of the pressure's off. Unless everything gets erased, I don't know how to do any of the digital stuff. So I know everything about celluloid. I can do anything you want, but even the last syllable, the word celluloid has something to do with it. But I don't know anything about your world. It's terrible. I've been lazy. Keep up with technology, very important. Right? Nina does, and that's how you know about this. Yes? Madam, you had a question.
Well, actually, along those lines, I was going to ask you, how much business does Trauma do now, showing it's
how much business? You mean how much money we make?
No, not necessarily how much money we make.
Jewish or something? I thought I was. What? Say it louder. Stand up, can't hear you.
I was just asking, do you show movies a lot in cinemas, or is it mostly home video and streaming?
Well, we do get some movies into theaters. We currently have a Hands Across America that's moving around night to night to different cities. One night or 2 night stands, 4 to 6 movies, like a marathon. And so that's going around, and then those movies will go to Troma Now, and then Blu-ray, and it's up to you guys. Word of mouth, or instead of word of mouth with poultry guys, the Night of the Chicken Dead, it's word of beak. Very important, especially with the bird flu thing going around. Thanks to a wonderful administration. I probably didn't answer, but it's a good question.
This is my first time back in the Capri since it reopened. I'm really excited that
What's that?
This is my first time back in the Capri since it reopened.
Oh, well, it's much better than this. I've been here when it wasn't a terrible master class. Come and see the movies, they're very good. There's one where the woman jumps off a building, amazing. She did it herself too. I wouldn't permit that, by the way. I would never let an actor do their own stunts. I think that's a mistake, but hey, it worked out okay on this Thunderbolt. Well, what do you want to do, Nina? You want to wrap it up, or Ryan's back there? It's up to you guys.
Hey, Lloyd, is there a clip from the list here that you would like to end with? On the screen there, you can see.
Warm Gun might be good, but other than that, I'm giving it. Oh well, wait a minute. Actually, there is something going on here that I did want to finish with, and that is very, very important. Now, hold on. Tonight is very important. We have these amazing awards. We don't get any awards. Troma does not receive awards, we give awards, and tonight I've been authorized to give out a very prestigious, give out the prestigious Troma diploma. And Nina, why don't you come up here and present the Troma diplomas, because Nina was supposed to get the most important Troma diploma. But naturally, the men took over, and that's what happens. The white men know this. Very bad, very bad. No, you're gonna you do the.
I'm doing this?
Yeah, you do the review.
I do. Okay.
Nina first.
Well, I'd first like to present from Tromaville Junior College, the official trauma diploma presented to Matthew Clicksane. Come on down, Matthew. In recognition of your creativity and support of truly independent learning.
While he's coming down, buy the book from the University of Mississippi Press. He spent 5 years for Masters.
There will be a signing of the book right after this in the lobby, and then there will be a screening of Toxic Avenger after that.
Congratulations, Matthew.
And then we'll do a Q&A after the movie too.
The next trauma diploma goes to Ryan Parker from the Mississippi Film Society.
Whoa.
And then finally, Tromaville Junior College presents to Ward Emling, the official trauma diploma. Ward will be moderating the discussion after the screening of The Toxic Avenger with Lloyd and Matthew.
This now is the most valuable degree I own. And I have like 3 or 4, so. Yeah, I just wanted to say real quick, thank you to Lloyd for being here. Also, thank you to Matthew for being here. As Nina said, we've got a little bit of time here if you want to chat with one another. Lloyd's going to be around for a bit. We have a screening of The Toxic Avenger, as you well know, at 7 o'clock back in here. If you're not from the area, there's plenty of restaurants in walking distance and bars as well. Matthew, I thought, if you don't mind, I don't want to put you on the spot. If you want to just say a bit about the book, and which will be available in the lobby. There'll be a signing. We're being really flexible here. We can, I mean, if you want to sign now, you can. We also said if we wanted to give folks a break, if you wanted to chat or go grab a drink, we could start the signing around 6 or 6:15. That's still plenty of time. You know, come back in here and catch the film. So I'm around all afternoon. Carrie from the film office here. Say hi, Carrie. In the red shirt. Nina, if you have any questions, Lloyd, we are waiting on merch that is coming to my house, which is 2 minutes away. When it arrives, I will grab it and bring it back.
Really cool shirts and whatnot.
Yeah, so yeah, I see some hands. We're gonna,
I'd like to buy trauma merch.
and so, yeah, anyway, but I just want to thank you all for being here. Again, I'm Ryan Parker with the Mississippi Film Society. We're co-sponsoring the day. The film office here has been great about sponsoring the workshop now. The Film Society is sponsoring the screening tonight. And again, as Nina said, stick around for the conversation after the screening as well. And then if anybody wants to keep the party going and chat after that, obviously the station next door is open late, beers, pizza, wine, cocktails, all that good stuff. So Matthew, a few words about the book. Thanks.
Yeah. Try not to feedback it, although it is trauma, so maybe it shouldn't. No, I want to thank you all for coming out tonight and promoting and helping to support independent cinema, independent art. As Lloyd said, I put together this book. It wasn't quite 5 years, but it was about 3. It probably felt like about 50 though, especially because it's been such a crazy experience, as you can imagine. I've known Lloyd almost my entire life, actually. I met him when I was still in film school in LA, and I'm going to echo what Ryan said, that this diploma is worth much more than my diploma from USC. But I do appreciate it. And the books will be in the lobby. If for some reason you have to leave or you don't get a copy, they are available online at bookstores. There's a hardcover edition, there's a paperback edition, and there's an ebook edition. What's interesting about it, and why I work specifically with University Press in Mississippi, which is a major reason why we're in Mississippi now, is for those of you who are not aware, they've had this great series for over 25 years now called Conversations with Filmmakers. And what it is they find a hapless sap like myself to spend all this time finding all these interviews that have already been done. And in Lloyd's case, as you can imagine, there are thousands, tens of thousands of interviews with him. And I did spend about a year going through and just finding the best interviews I could. And that includes more recent ones on podcasts, YouTube videos, and we have all different kinds of interviews with Lloyd going all the way back to the late 1970s. with people like Chris Gore from Film Thread, people like the angry video game nerd James Rolfe, as some of you may know, the Village Voice, Jack Matthews,
I know who that is for sure.
but also folks who did these interviews for little punk zines, and I tried to maintain some of the bad spelling and grammar. This is also the first installment of University Press of Mississippi's Conversations with Filmmakers, where we were given permission to allow a truncated version of Lloyd's AMA from Reddit. And again, I made sure that we did not change any of the editing, we did not change any of the grammar, so it is literally just people online talking with Lloyd and his real-time responses to that on an AMA on Reddit, which is the first time they allowed for that. I really wanted to kind of show Lloyd in his truth and authenticity without any kind of editing and whatnot. But most of the interviews I did edit as needed, just for some fact checking. I annotated a little bit. We have some interviews from all over the world. We had to have some of them translated. So that's actually what the book is. I did an introduction as well, a chronology of Lloyd's life, a filmography, and then an interview of my own that I did with him, kind of as a capstone to sort of talk about what it's like for Lloyd to do the interviews, why he does them. Because the most important thing about Lloyd in this book and kind of everything that we're doing here, as you can imagine, is Lloyd, very much like Frank Zappa and Charles Eames and Harmony Korine and John Waters and a lot of other great filmmakers and artists, he is very much a part of the art. He is very much a part of the filmmaking process. Everything is about not just what you see on screen, but what's happening behind the screen. And he's right when he says another great reason to get Troma now, aside from the fact that it's only $5, the Troma streaming service, is you have all of the behind the scenes documentaries. And he's made it for almost every single movie he's ever made, going back to the earliest ones. So you can actually see everything that they're doing to make the movies they made. And it also gives you a real sense of why these films are so interesting and unique and have a sense of engagement for the audience. You can see what they're doing very intentionally. And it goes back to the philosophies of people like Bertolt Brecht, and talking about kind of breaking the fourth wall and kind of involving the audience very much the way that you would with a movie like The Room or Rocky Horror Picture Show. And we get into all of this stuff in the book, along with all the other interviews that Lloyd has done since even before I was born. So if you do have a chance to check out the book, go ahead. Otherwise, again, I'm just very grateful for everyone who helped us to come out here, Nina and Ryan and Carrie, who've been so great to us since yesterday. This is the first time I've ever been in Mississippi, actually, and I've been having a blast so far, and it's a very unique place, especially Jackson. So I again want to thank everyone for bringing us out. Obviously, my publisher, University Press of Mississippi, and all the people that have been so good about this. And, as Lloyd said, there ain't a lot of money in this, so we're all doing this as a labor of love. We just really want to promote independent cinema, independent art, and it's so important. You can see all these movies on Troma now, you can see them on Amazon, you can see them on some of these other streaming services and YouTube and whatnot, to come together in a theater and hear everyone else laughing and hear everyone else gasping and hear everybody else groaning at the dad jokes and everything else in it. That's something that's very special, and I'm very grateful to the Capri Theater and all you guys for coming out, not just for this free event, but I'm sure you've come to other events here as well. We need to keep movie theaters going. We need to prove to all the people at Netflix and Jeff Bezos and everyone else who are doing everything they can to keep you at home and to keep us away from each other and to really make sure that everyone stays home and watches the screen all the time. They are literally saying things outright like their only competition is sleep. These are the people that we're dealing with. These are people who don't want us to sleep, who don't want us to be together, who want to keep us at home, buying things, watching things, dating each other, all online and through a screen that we know is horrible for our brains, is horrible for our political rhetoric, is horrible for our communication skills, terrible for our children, and that's what they're trying to do. I mean, they are. This is a conspiracy theory. I mean, they talk about it. They brag about it. Look how well we're doing this. We're beating sleep. So it's so important that we all come to theaters and watch movies like this together. It's important to go outside too, but it's great to be able to all be here together and see a movie that you could easily see at home, but to see it as a community, as a gathering with Lloyd Kaufman, the filmmaker himself here, and the people all supporting it, that's something that's very important. That is what community is about, and keeping an independent theater like this going so that we can all be here together and enjoy it, laugh together, cry together, gasp together. That's what this is so much is about, and that's part of why I've put so much time and energy into working with Lloyd over the years on this book and other projects. So I want to thank you all again. I want to thank the Mississippi Film Office for bringing us out, the Capri Theater, University Press in Mississippi, and all of you guys for coming out. And yeah, the movie's not till 7, so keep telling your friends to come on out and see the movie with us.
Thank you, everybody. Now we want to